Welcome, welcome. Welcome back, welcome back. Now, I don't know if you've watched episode 1, where we did a bit of a general overview of how you can make the burnt peanut in terms of the model structure, what you need to do to get the bones, and how to make the different parts of the body move. This episode, we will now tell you how to get that model onto your OBS, how you do it, how you get your facial features on it, and all the little tips and tricks to that. What we'll do then is we'll do a third episode is where I'll show you how to get your outfits on, so your hats, backpacks, guns, swords, whatever you want. Get that on and make it, customize it, make it look like your little character. And then obviously we'll then see if we need more episodes on different tips and tricks on how to do various different things. So we'll get straight into it. The link here on this side will be to take you to episode 1. If you need to know how to do the model, press on that and that'll tell you how to do that part. But let's get into it. Let's show you how to do the next bit. From the last episode, we did this model of the burnt peanut. Again, don't copy off him. Do your own character, your own fruit, veg, whatever you want. But we did this, so here's how to export it. I think I went through it on the last video, but once you've got your model sorted, all your bone structure, all that's done, what we'll then go and do is we'll file, export, GLTF, so the .glb, export that. Yeah. So that's all you do there. That's Blender finished. Minimize Blender. Now, this is the software that you'll need to get your facial features and what you need to do in terms of making the character you. So download the latest edition of Lens Studio. Some people back in the day, you needed to do Snapcam, you needed to use Docker and create all those different coding to create your own server because Snapcam doesn't exist anymore. Very complicated, very challenging. A lot of things where people don't really want to do it. You gotta have Linux on it. It's a nightmare. A lot of challenges and for no reason now. So back then you had to download an earlier version of Lens Studio. Now just download the most up-to-date studio. So I think I'm on 5.17.1. I think there's a more up-to-date one slightly, but whatever's the best, download it. Once it's downloaded, I'm not going to show you how to do it. Download it, get it installed on your computer. Once it's installed, once it's opened, you'll be faced with this screen here. Now, it'll come up with a couple of pop-ups. Just close them off, accept the cookies, whatever you want to do. Get rid of them screens. And what we need to now do is, this is the template of how we're going to bring in our model and make the eyes and the mouth move with us. So the first thing I like to do is drag your preview on the right and just bring it down the bottom here. Shrink your scene a bit, and then we'll get that working about there. Obviously, I'm using the camera in OBS at the moment, so bear with me for 3 seconds and I'll switch the camera so that I'll be now on the bottom right here. Voila! So now, as you can see, we're on the bottom here. So what we need to do now is, this is the screen and the structure that'll be going forward, and this will be where you pull your model from Lens Studio into OBS, which I'll do a mini episode on how to do that, but it's basic. It'll be like a 2-minute video with that. It's so simple. But for now, we've got the preview ready. That's all set up. What we need to do next, bring in our model. So to bring in your model, on the bottom section here where you've got Asset Browser, you want to go Add New Resource, Import Asset at the bottom here. We want to find where we saved our model within this folder here. Bring that. Don't change any settings, just accept. Pulls the model in. It'll take a couple of seconds to download it in. You'll see it here once it's ready. Open up the folder structure. All your materials, your textures, everything is in there because you download it as a .glb. If you download it as a different format, it can add complexities where you've got to bring in the textures, apply them again, do all the different things. That's why I like just downloading it as a .glb. Click on the bottom bit where it says Peanut example or whatever your model is. You then want to drag that into the top right here, and then bang! Now you can't see me. I'm now hidden behind a ginormous peanut. So the first thing we need to do is shrink the model. It's clearly too big. So with the model selected on the top left here, you'll see here on the inspector screen on the top right, you want to press on the link, which basically links the X, Y, and Z axes, allowing you to shrink it all in the same amount. We're going to drop this down to, we'll try 10 for now. So you can see there, 10's probably still a bit too big. It's taking up your full camera. Drop that to 5. 5's not bad. So we'll go with 5. So you can see at the moment there's a massive peanut stuck in the middle of my face, which is a bit overwhelming. You can't see me. I'm hiding behind it. And if you notice, as I move, the model's just obviously sitting there. It's not moving. It's not doing anything. So that's when we're adding the scripts, which we'll go through in the next steps. What we need to do next is add in our scripts. So again, on the asset browser, press the plus sign, go to where it says scripting, add in JavaScript file, name this one head, right click on that one, and we're going to duplicate. And then we're going to right click on where it says head 2, because that's the duplicate, rename. We're going to put that one as body. So now we've got my head and body. On the head, we're going to double click, and this allows us to put the script in. Now, I'll copy and paste the scripts into the comments on the video just to make it easier so that it's more simple for you guys. But the more I'm on the head one, so again for you guys, just copy and paste these from the comments section. So, copy, paste that in. We're then going to double click on the body one, and we're going to get our body script. I'm going to copy that one, paste that one in. Go. And then what we need to do now is we want to close it, save it, close it, save it. That should work, but sometimes this is where you can get a fault, where because you need to run the script so that the script then allows you to add your inputs and outputs, you might at this stage have to, wait, I'm going to hide this bloody peanut. There, we'll hide it. So we might have to save the whole Lens Studio as a project, close it, reopen it. Sometimes it's easy to do that, so I'm just going to do it now. So I'm going to disappear for 3 seconds, but I'll be back in a sec. So we've closed it, we've reopened it, that's all we've done. That's all we've done at that stage. What we're going to do next is we've got the scripts in now. We're going to add in our face. So basically how it's going to track with face. So on the scene hierarchy, so the scene one, not the asset browser, we're going to go to plus. We're going to go to face. We're going to go to face. Wait, head binding. Add that in. We don't need the face occluder, so we can delete that. So right click on that and just delete. So on the head binding, so now that is physically going to bind our head, and we're going to start adding stuff in. So for now, we want the model to be within that section. So we're going to drag that up and add it into the effects section because it's going to be all part of this model. Next step is we'll add in our script. So the head will go against the head binding because that's what's binding is the head. And on here, what we need to do is where it says scene object, press on that, and you want that to be head binding because it's going to bind to the head. And then we want the object to be within the model. You need it to be on the right bone. So bone is the foot, is the body, and bone 0.001 when we did the model in Blender was the head part of the bone. So we want it to be binded to that. And as you can see now, as I move my head, the peanut head's moving. You notice it's like swaying. You can increase the speed of that. At the moment, that's way too slow. That by the time I move, it's a very delayed reaction. So we're going to increase that to say, let's go to 0.5 and see how fast that goes. So you can see that's a bit quicker. 0.8. Not bad. You can go as much as you want, but if you go too fast, you'll see that it'll go crazy. I went to 5. It obviously doesn't know what it's doing. Just play around with it. So we'll go to 2. 2's too much. 1.5. 1.5 is a bit laggy. I think we'll go with 1. 1 looks quite nice. So we'll go with 1. So that's how we do the head bind. So now as you can see, it's binding our face. So as we move our head, the head of the peanut's moving. The next thing is the body. So we need to put the body script in so that when I move my body, at the moment, the peanut's not physically moving. It's just standing in the middle of the screen. So by putting the script on so that it follows our body, as I move, the peanut will move with me. So that's what the body script does. So we're going to add the body script in now. Basically, the body needs to be attached to the model. So the whole model. So not just the peanut, but the whole effects, the head, everything. So we'll get the body script and we'll put it into basically where it says effects. So as you can see there, it's highlighted the full model. Put that in. Press on the body. We want it to be the target is the head bind. And the chosen object for the body is the peanut. So now as we move, the model moves. You'll have noticed it's shrunk a little bit in terms of the size, but that's fine. We can sort that out after. You can make it bigger afterwards. So that's them 2 bits done. Now, if I want to make the model bigger, where you did your 5 before, selecting your peanut, you can make this, put a 10 if you want. But as you see there, I've made a mistake. I didn't select the uniform scale, so the link. So all it's done is move the X and made the X big, so it's made it really wide. So we'll link it all. Well, that's 10. I would say 10 looks a decent size. I'd be happy with that in terms of the model. And that is, as you can see, it's moving with it. The head's moving. What we need to do now is basically ensure that the speeds look right. So we'll move the speed of the head so it's faster. So it moves pretty uniform with my head moving. So the smoothness speed again, we'll increase that so that when we move, it moves pretty constant. I'd say that's decent. What we'll do next now is we're going to add in our eyes and our mouth. So within the scene bit, we're going to press the plus, go back to face, go to face inset. And what we'll do here is we'll name this section mouth. So we'll name that one mouth. Press on that now. It'll open up an inspector panel on the right. And you can see there where it says texture. This is another mistake that people make, so I'll make sure to mention this. Where it says texture, at the moment it's got screen texture. So as you can see on the peanut, it's like just a blurb. And as I'm talking, it's just making the model look a bit blurry. But if I physically change that from screen texture to device camera texture, now you can see that it's my mouth. And what we need to do next is find where the hell our mouth is, because it could be anywhere on this screen. And we'll want it to be... So there's the blue outline of the mouth. We're going to line it up best we can with what I know on the preview. It's floating in the middle of my hat at the moment. But we're going to line it the best we can with the model and where we roughly want it to be. So again, press on the ghost. Put it at the front. Put it where you roughly want the model to, where you want it to be. And because at the moment it's not attached to the head bind, the bone of the head, it's not attached to the bone here, bone point 001. What we'll do is we'll drag that mouth to the bone. So now it's attached. So when I move my head, it's moving. But again, it's moved a mile away from where we had it originally. So it's just floating in the middle of nowhere, which looks a bit strange. So we're going to do the same thing as we just did. We're going to go on move. We're going to go to the side. We're going to move this over there. Press back on the mouth. Ah, yeah. We're going to move this into the model. But I'd say where it is there. I'd say that's a pretty reasonable place to be. Yeah, looks all right. Now what we need to do is, as you'll see, you can see my mustache, but doesn't look the best quality. So what we'll have to do here is, you can scroll down on the inspector once it's selected, and you'll see the inner border radius. You can play around with that, which just shrinks the how much of the mouth it's actually looking at. So you can see on the preview, it blurs it out. So you want it to be nice and dark. Then you've got the outer border, which just does how big it goes. So that's getting all my mustache, none of my mustache, but it just makes the lips look a bit funky. So you just play around with that to get it whatever you think looks the best. So we'll go with 0.4. Then you've got, again, that's preference. You can see the slight changes it makes. So whatever you want to play with, make it your own. And then you've got your scale is at the top here. Now this one, you don't really probably want to do link because it's a mouth. You want it to be like a sphere. You don't want it to, you want it to be stretched. You don't want it to be a perfect circle. So for this, just play around with however big you want it to be. And you can make it massive. Entirely up to you of how you want it to look. The main ones are the Y and X. The depth doesn't really do anything. I like that. That'll do. So there's our mouth. We're happy with that. The next thing we'll do is where we've got the mouth. Press on it on the left there in the scene. Right click. We're going to go to duplicate. So now we're going to mouth 1. We're going to press on it once. We're going to change that to left eye, because now we're going to do our eyes. So with the left eye selected there, so it's highlighted blue. On the right hand side in the inspector panel, because we've duplicated, the texture is the device camera still, so that's good. We're going to scroll down, and where it says face region, we've got mouth. We're going to change that to left eye, because that's what we're looking at now. We're left eye. We're then going to, with move selected and left eye selected, we're going to move the eye to where we want it to be. So left eye. You get it so it's somewhat in the model. Now you'll notice, because I wear glasses, that's why for me doing the VTube I think it wouldn't work very well, because you see the glare of the glass. You see it, well, if I take my glasses off, it looks a lot clearer. So I would say VTuber things is probably more suited for people without glasses. Again, play around with the outer border. Play around with the size on the scale. So you might want the eyes to be a little bit smaller than the mouth. You might not want them to be as tall. So again, it's just playing around with whatever best suits you or your model. So I'm going to say that looks alright, that'll do. We then want to right click again on the left eye, duplicate. So we have left eye 1, press on it, wait a second, press on it again. We're going to change this one to right eye. Press on it so the inspector panel's up on the right. We're going to scroll down to where it says left eye. We're going to change that to right eye. We're going to then make sure the move selected and make sure the right eye selected. We're going to move it along to wherever we want it to be. So we'll have it like that. So as you can see now, we have our peanut with our eyes and our mouth. And then when we move our head, the peanut moves his head. And when we move our body, way, way. And in this stage, all you want to do now is just play around with the sizes, play around with what it looks like, where you want the eyes positioned, where you want the mouth positioned. If you wanted a nose, you can put a nose in. You can do whatever you want. Face region, yeah, you've got all the different options. Nose, you can put the full face in, but obviously that looks stupid. Play around with the inner, outer border, sizes. To me, once you've done the left eye and you duplicate it, you want the eyes to be symmetrical. You want them to be the same. And then play around with the mouth however you want it to look. So I would say that looks pretty neat. I've got the movement set. So now that is effectively the basic model complete. The only bit we need to do next is the green screen, which is the simplest thing ever. Go on where it says camera object on the left here. Press on that. We've then got where it says clear color option. Selected a none at the moment. We're going to put color. And then where it's got clear color, black at the moment, as you can see, it's black on the background. Going to change that to a green for green screen. And then voila, we have our peanut moving, dancing, shaking about, doing the hokey cokey with the green screen. And that's that. That is as much as you need to do. That is literally the model complete, the peanut done. The next step would be, that's your plain model, dragging that into OBS, taking off the green screen option, so it's just a floating peanut or a model. As simple as that. Does it look good? If you like the video, drop a subscribe. Wait for the next episode. We're going to do multiple of these to guide you through the process. But I would say, please drop a comment if there's anything that you are struggling with, you didn't understand. Let us know and I'll try my best to explain it. Or if I need to, I'll do more videos, more episodes. So wait for the next episode where we'll next do how you bring in the outfits and the camos and stuff like that.